extremely successful years, the Live in Barnsley team decided to call it a day towards the back end of 2017. Fast forward to February 2018 and news that a team of local musicians and promoters are taking over the mantle and bringing the festival back to life, under the banner Barnsley Live. We grabbed a quick chat with one of the team, Chris Scarfe from One Over the Eight Promotions, to talk about his involvement in the local scene and the plans for Barnsley Live 2018. Just give us a quick overview on what yourself and what One Over the Eight Promotions do for the local music scene.
It started as a monthly open mic night around 2011, so what's that, 7 years. Couple of years of that, moving venue to venue, and then I went to the White Bear in 2014 or back end of 2013, looking for a new venue to put this on. And the manager Lee managed to, well, he said we wanted something weekly, and I said I can't do that. And I walked out of there. He'd managed to convince me that I can do that.
Right.
So I've been there. This is my 5th year at White Bear doing Wednesdays, every Wednesday.
Yep.
Along the way, I've picked up other venues, smaller festivals, beer festivals, you know, and pubs around the Barnsley area. If they've got a little do on, they get in touch with me and I sort the lineups.
Cool. So Live in Barnsley called it a day towards the end of last year, and it's definitely worth giving them a mention. Yep. The history of that festival, because you wouldn't really be doing what you're doing without them.
We wouldn't be doing
is
it.
That
no, that's
fair enough to say?
So the main two, Dave Pearsall and Steve Clifford, and then as far as I'm aware, they did have a team of volunteers who helped out. But Dave and Steve were your main two. But I had nothing to do with it at all.
So what was it like? 12 venues they had?
I think it varied year to year, and I think they had more than 12 definitely on at least one of the years, maybe 15 or so.
It's like 100+ bands, so it's pretty big operation. Yeah. So like, what is your motivation? Why would you take on? As long as I think it's like we should also mention, because it's not just you, there's some other people. Do you want to just give them a mention?
Yep, so we've got Bob, Harry and Romy, who are all part of Rhythm Inc. And then we've got Tomo, Stu and Matt, who are from the sort of Coalfields end. Right. And it's mainly because of them guys actually who individually sort of messaged me and said, you know, shall we do this? Because I wouldn't you can't take that on your own. No. I mean, even Dave and Steve were two people. That is a massive job. Yeah. So between the 7 of us, we should be okay. It's a lot more to spread out.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, and everybody's got different sort of, specialties.
So just going back to that then, why have you took it on?
When they were announced that Live in Barnsley weren't doing it anymore, and you saw the disappointment on Facebook.
Definitely.
And everybody, it were great, and it were one of the biggest fixtures in Barnsley's music, calendar. And then not long after that, there was some doubt about Coalfields, as I mentioned Coalfields, and them not happening. And I mean, it's a relatively small music scene as it is. Yes. So losing those, I mean, it's been in a particular Live in Barnsley, all the town centres involved. Yep. I just think, it had to happen.
Cool. Live in Barnsley obviously had a couple individuals, one being Fergal Sharkey and the former MP, Michael Duggar, as ambassadors. Yeah. Do you intend to keep those on board, or do you have anyone involved who can give it a little bit of clout? Obviously, Michael Duggar being head of UK music. Yeah. Oh yeah. We have had contact with Michael. Right. And he's been very supportive. As regards ambassadors, we are looking. We've got a couple of names. I'm not able to reveal just at the moment. We have had a provisional yes from one. We'll be looking for. I think we want at least 2. Cool. So back to Barnsley Live 2018. Simple question: where can people expect to see bands? Is it going to be the same format? Have you got any plans to make it bigger, or likewise scale it down? Yeah.
Initially, we thought we don't want to go too big. Right. We thought if we can get it to 10, 12, that's a lot. But then we had every venue messages. Right. And we can't just start picking and choosing. That's it's just, it can't work like that. So it could be bigger. I would say obviously we need the amount of bands which are coming in thick and fast. Right. We need the infrastructure, the sound techs, the gear, the backlines, which again I'm confident we'll be able to do all that, but we just don't want to make too many promises until, you know, we know for definite. But I think we're looking at a minimum 12, but it could be as many as 18.
Wow. One thing that did come from, certainly from last year's festival, was kind of the band and artist kind of liaison from the event at each venue. Like the only kind of representative of the festival was the sound guy who was mixing the show in front of him.
Yeah.
Have you got any plans to kind of, like you said earlier, spread the workload?
Yeah.
Spread the workload with the guys on the day. You know, is that something that's in your mind?
Yeah. I think the sound techs, obviously I work with a few, you know, on a regular basis.
Yeah.
It's a long day. It's a minimum 12-hour day for them.
Yeah.
And when if they're not mixing a band while the band playing, they're setting up another band. And if their venue is busy, like last year, we're absolutely packed, they can't even get themselves a drink.
Yeah.
So I think all of us, in fact, on our little group, we all said we need to give them as much help as we can. So again, because there's so many of us, we've said we should be able to have at least one stage manager for 2 venues. Yeah. So, you know, you'd be back and forth.
Yeah.
Do you want a drink? Do you want something to eat? Do you need to, you know? We've had lots of messages of people offering their support, like their help, which has been brilliant. So, again, there's no reason why we shouldn't have, like I say, at least one guy for 2 venues.
Right. Lastly, how do bands apply to play at Barnsley Live 2018?
You go to www.barnsley-live.com and click apply here.
So thank you very much for coming in and talking about Barnsley Live 2018. Good luck with the planning of the festival and the many gigs that you and One Over the Eight are going to put on. And yeah, thanks again.
No problem.
So since our chat, the Barnsley Live team have announced their first batch of venues. White Bear, Bar, the Garrison, Stereo, Londoner and the Old Number 7. Many thanks to Scarfe for his time. Keep an eye out on the Barnsley Live Facebook page and our YouTube channel for updates on the Barnsley music scene. You only have to say you were done,